Thanks for tuning back in. I'm Tommy Campbell, still bald, still in my basement, and still smiling after witnessing my son's enthusiasm for April Fool's Day. We had to prank everyone until bedtime. Mom's in the shower, turn off the hot water. Dad's having a coffee, put salt instead of sugar in it. I mean, there was a lot of switching up, playing along, and acting going on with these, but the joy of seeing him watch us get owned, or him running in the room saying, "Rusty pooed on the carpet," never got old. Okay, follow him upstairs. "Oh, there's nothing there, you got me." Yes. I wish it were not an April Fool's prank, but yes, Donald Trump got bailed out by another Donald Hankey, an actual billionaire. I'll be having a laugh getting into who he is and how this happened. I'll be mocking Fox News for losing it over Trans Day of Visibility, something they've supported in the past. Mike Johnson makes wild new January 6 claims that are just ridiculous, and there is a legendary new genuine page from my special copy of Lauren Boebert's book and more. But first, this.
The contrast between two different presidents, and we can do that now, Sean, because we remember Donald Trump as president for 4 years. You remember how low the unemployment number actually was, the real unemployment number.
It's nuts that people believe anything Eric Trump's makeup lab explosion survivor Mar-a-Lago karaoke wife says. But in case they stumble across this bald comedian, here's some of Trump's final numbers. The economy lost 2.9 million jobs. The unemployment rate increased by 1.6 percentage points to 6.3%. The international trade deficit Trump promised to reduce went up. The U.S. trade deficit in goods and services in 2020 was the highest since 2008 and increased 40.5% from 2016. The number of people lacking health insurance rose by 3 million. The federal debt held by the public went up from 14.4 trillion to 21.6 trillion. Home prices rose 27.5%. Illegal immigration increased. The murder rate in his last year rose to the highest level since 1997. It is pouring MAGA tears. I played in 35 countries for over 2 decades, but most days you'll find me here. Thanks for taking in this bald comedian's take on things. Please join the best subscribers on YouTube while I blast the latest and stupid and more.
Easter was so terrific. I went to church and did the whole God thing. I'm kidding. That was Sleepy Joe. I spent the day looking at Easter bunnies. Playboy ones on my phone. They are so hot. You know, Ivanka totally could have been one. Totally.
This is really cool.
Donald Trump received a lifeline from Don Hankey, chairman of Knight Specialty Insurance. The fake billionaire was bailed out by an actual billionaire. Hankey made his fortune in real estate, car dealerships, and financial services. Remember when Hillary Clinton said this?
Why won't he release his tax returns? And I think there may be a couple of reasons. First, maybe he's not as rich as he says he is. Second, maybe he's not as charitable as he claims to be. Third, we don't know all of his business dealings, but we have been told through investigative reporting that he owes about $650 million to Wall Street and foreign banks. Or maybe he doesn't want the American people, all of you watching tonight, to know that he's paid nothing in federal taxes, because the only years that anybody's ever seen were a couple of years when he had to turn them over to state authorities when he was trying to get a casino license, and they showed he didn't pay any federal income tax. So if he's paid zero, that means zero for troops.
Yeah, a judge ruled that Trump committed fraud to inflate his net worth. Trump and top executives at the Trump Organization conspired to increase his net worth by billions of dollars on financial statements provided to banks and insurers to make deals and secure loans. If he were an actual billionaire, coming up with $175 million would be easy. Instead, he shopped around to 30 companies, and they all said they would only take cash because they don't trust him. But before New York Attorney General Letitia James could start seizing Trump's assets, a fan of his bailed him out, posting bond on Monday, 3 days before the court-imposed deadline. Hankey said in an interview, "We have the liquidity, and I'm just happy to provide it," and that his support for Trump had nothing to do with his decision to offer his company's services to the former president. Yes, I voted for him in the past, but this is a business deal, and this is what we do. I've never met Donald Trump nor talked to him on the phone. Hankey is the largest individual shareholder of Axos Financial, the company that refinanced mortgages on Trump Tower and on Trump National Doral in Miami in 2022. These are not business deals because anyone good at business would not invest in Donald Trump. Lending Trump money is the stupidest thing you could do. He has a laundry list of bankruptcies and failures. His Truth Social media stock, which trades under DJT, has plummeted. Truth Social previously said that more than 8 million people have signed up to the app, though figures from analytics firm SimilarWeb put the number of monthly active users below 500,000. According to the company's new filings, it earned just $4 million in revenue last year, and in the fourth quarter it made just $750,000. And although $4 million sounds like a lot, they spent a lot more to keep this dumpster fire burning the diapers, putting the social media site's loss from business and interest expenses at $58 million last year. 58. Hankey is a Trump superfan. He knows if Trump starts losing assets, it's over for him. He wants Trump back in the White House. He's contributed to his campaigns before. He saw Trump in trouble and he contacted him. He offered to loan him the money.
So I made a commitment immediately after I got the gavel that we would start releasing that. Originally, we were trying to blur some of the faces to protect the innocent, people who were just there and just happened to be walking through the building. But then we realized a lot of this is out there in the public anyway. And so, yeah, we're releasing America as fast as we possibly can. We had to hire new staff to do it. They're uploading it. It's a 24-hour operation. And all that tape will be out there as soon as possible. But 13,000 hours are available now. Yeah.
Yes, you can send me a couple thousand hours. I'll work through it with you if you, need a little extra help.
Enough, you stupid clowns. We're just there and happened to be walking through the building. Hiroshima was just there when the atom bomb was just dropping from the sky. The Twin Towers were just there when the planes flew into them on 9/11. Lauren Boebert's hands were just there when people were trying to take in a Beetlejuice performance. The revisionism by this lot is purely bonkers. I don't need to roll the clips of what happened on that day, but it's absolutely nuts that someone that's super biblical, that lives their life based on multiple events we have little to no evidence of happening, will refute what happened on that day while he was cowering in a secured location with others. Honestly, how much are you wanking that you need to install spyware on your computer to stop your fisty frenzy? I've had a lot of me time in my life, and I'm glad I didn't have a friend to get bombarded with notifications during my antics. There was a solid single stretch in my life when I shopped at Costco for Kleenex, and it wasn't because I was crying. If you love what I do here and you can afford to help out, throw me a buck with the PayPal link in the pinned comment or drop me a super thanks with this button. And please, take 2 seconds after this video to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. These things are free and help the show grow. Thank you. Hope you had a great Easter. We went to an egg hunt. My son made these cookies, and they turned out awesome. Fox spent it losing it over everything from a coloring contest to those acknowledging marginalized people.
We're finding out there's like 100 trans days recognized on the calendar. I was always under the impression that Gay Pride Month was June. They get the whole month. LGBTQ, RSTUV, the trans falls under that umbrella, and they can do whatever they want during that month. They can have a parade, they can bake cookies, they can be as visible as they need to be. I have no problem with that. Do your thing. But now they're picking individual days out of the calendar, and if you have a whole calendar, 365 days of the year, and the transgender community purposely chooses the day of Jesus' death or his resurrection, whatever Easter weekend, that seems like a shot, a purposeful shot. Could have been in October. Could have been in August. They chose that day on purpose. And then the media tries to controversialize Christianity. Like, oh, okay, so Trump put his name on a Bible and is promoting prayer? So what? That's not controversial. FDR handed out signed Bibles.
It is not a shot. Each year on March 31st, the world observes Transgender Day of Visibility to raise awareness about transgender people. Easter falls on the first Sunday after the full moon that follows the spring equinox. We won't see another March 31st Easter until 2086, years after this idiot is long gone. Next year, Easter is on April 20th. Oh, super cool. The anniversary of the Columbine High School massacre. The Deepwater Horizon blew up on that day, kicking off the start of the BP oil disaster. And it's Adolf Hitler's birthday. Yes, the author of Trump's favorite book. Now, speaking of that, Jesse did his best to say Trump is getting people to pray. No, he's getting people to pay, insisting his Bible is the one and only. And if you haven't seen my dub of his pathetic Bible pitch commercial, please do. People love it. It's good fun. Check it out after this video.
Well, you have to look at, like, the black community, for example. You know, what they're doing to President Trump, that's really influencing a lot of the black vote, because they're like, wow, if they can do it to a president of the United States, you know, what they've been doing to us for many years, you know, these whole trials and everything, it's to
Trump voters, now with even more racism.
Needless to say, any display of Christianity was all but banned from the Biden White House. Even religious-themed painted eggs, they were strictly prohibited. You can't make this up. You really can't. This is simply hostility now towards religion.
Okay, the American Egg Board, which helps coordinate the annual White House event, explained that the guideline language referenced in recent news reports has consistently applied to the board since its founding in 1978. Therefore, the restrictions had been in place since the Carter administration, including Donald Trump's term in office.
Weekend. And, you know, we were at first, want to be very clear, confused on their coverage. We're grateful that Fox agrees with President Biden about the importance of recognizing Trans Day of Visibility. And I'll just quote something that Fox said back in 2021. They tweeted this: Trans Day of Visibility is dedicated to celebrating transgender people. To all the transgender men, women, and non-binary folk, we see you and stand with you.
Okay, now watch Fox News playing this and cutting off her statement, cutting off her noting the receipt from Fox, which was that social media post I just shared.
And as a Christian who celebrates Easter with family, President Biden stands for bringing people together and upholding the dignity and freedoms of every American. Now, sadly, and it's not surprising, right? It is actually unsurprising that politicians are seeking to divide and weaken our country with cruel, hateful, and dishonest rhetoric. It is dishonest what we have heard the past 24 hours. It is untrue what we heard over the weekend.
And if it seemed like she was reading, that's because that was the same statement that...
Yeah, the entertainment channel for married cousins cut it before she showed the receipts. For those new to the show, I'm glad you found me. Thank you. For a year and a half, I've been reading genuine pages from my special copy of Lauren Boebert's book. This really is a ton of fun. I only do this once a week, and it's been pretty wild. Let's get back to it. He missed, and missed again. The boys began to heckle Jason, who was struggling to hit the sore above my lip. We'd even taken a time out while I got Mountain Dew, his Funyun lunch, and used some red lipstick to draw arrows, pointing to the bullseye. "You suck, Dad!" shouted the kids, and I joined in with, "Be a man." I was careful not to heckle too much, though. With all my shouting, I did run the risk of him landing one right in what he calls my cheddar tooth tunnel of fun. And as cute as that is, I don't want to choke on little balloons of concealer delivered with maximum velocity. Fortunately, the boys were keeping up the ball busting. Now, I know hamsters can't talk yet, but I swear, when Mountain Dew was floating from God's blue sky and Jason was having a tantrum after missing my face over and over, I heard him laugh. I kind of see my emotional support hamster a bit like the big monkey with the crossbow from the Star Wars movie my kids watch. We don't understand what the big monkey says, but his best friend does. Maybe you haven't seen this movie. It's a little out there, so I'll put it like this. When Mountain Dew makes sounds, it's like the Bible. You have to take away what you can from it, and it's up to me to interpret what he's saying. So I shouted at Jason, "Mountain Dew says you're all sling and no shot and that you shoot like a liberal." The next thing you know, Jason unloaded on me, and in a way, I felt blessed. You see, when you're sitting on a stump while your husband uses a slingshot to cover your sore with a do-it-yourself paintball of makeup from overseas, a stump has these little thing called ants. It wasn't just his case of Coors making the target a bit of a challenge. It was my bottom getting bit, causing me to move like I'm auditioning for the black light booth. He gave me a good splattering, and thanks to a poorly timed red ant that caused me to look down, I received a thick stripe in the middle of my brown hair. For days, I was known as the family skunk. Eventually, Jason took me to Home Depot, and we had a little paint thinner hair wash in the parking lot. Lesson learned. It was like a fairy tale. If you've enjoyed this genuine page from Low Rent Boozebird's book, let me know in the comments, and I'll see about reading another page sometime soon. This guy with this channel has a face for radio. Better hide it. MAGA Tears. Trump is gonna win. MAGA 2024. MAGA Tears. This is the channel all the mentally ill congregate in. ALOLOLLPLLPL. MAGA Tears. Now, I wish it were not an April Fool's prank, but Donald Trump got bailed out by an actual Donald. I kind of see my emotional support hamster a bit like the big monkey with the crossbow from Star Wars. I kind of see my emotional support hamster a bit like the big monkey with the crossbow from Star Wars. I kind of see my emotional support hamster a bit like the big monkey with the crossbow. We don't understand what the big monkey says, but his best friend does. Honestly, how much are you wanking that you need to install spyware on your computer to stop your fisty friendly? And thanks to a poorly timed red ant, I received a thick stripe down the middle of my brown hair. For days, Thanks for watching. Please stick around and check out another one of my videos. Say hello in the comments. Find my stand-up on Spotify, streamed by millions, and add me on Facebook and Instagram. It all helps. Be cool, be kind, take care.